This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
This episode is brought to you by Visit Williamsburg. In Williamsburg, Virginia, there's never too much of a good thing. Whether you're a foodie, a golfer, a history buff, a shopaholic, an outdoor enthusiast, or a thrill seeker, you'll find what you came for here and more. So ask yourself, what is it you want? Discover Williamsburg and plan your trip at visitwilliamsburg.com.
This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 2680. 5 Things No One Tells You About Retirement That You Need to Know, by Janet Barry Johnson with newretirement.com. And I'm your host and personal finance enthusiast, Diana Merriam. Now let's get right to it and continue optimizing your life. 5 Things No One Tells You About Retirement That You Need to Know, by Janet Barry Johnson with newretirement.com. The plan seems simple. Work until age 65 and then retire and enjoy the good life. Golfing, travel, gardening, being a grandparent, and sleeping in. This may be what you've been looking forward to for the last 40 or so years, but you could be in for some big surprises. There are quite a few important facts about retirement that no one talks about. Many people have trouble adjusting when they exit the working world and try to begin a life of leisure. Here are 5 things you need to know that most people don't talk about related to retirement. Number 1, depression is common. For many people, their identities have become wrapped up in what they do for a living. When their careers end, unless there's something else to fill that space, depression can become an issue. A report from the Institute of Economic Affairs shows that retirement may increase your risk of clinical depression. 2 of the biggest contributors to that statistic are social isolation and inactivity. That's why so many experts on the mental health aspects of retirement recommend coming up with a plan for retirement that goes beyond your finances. Few people like to talk about depression, so it's no surprise that it's one of the things that no one tells you about retirement. When you retire, what will motivate you to get out of bed and do something? To ward off feelings of disconnect and despondency. Stay in shape. Remaining active as you age helps your physical health and your mental well-being. Get up at the same time each day and develop a routine. Retirees fare better when they have a plan for the day, even if it's just meeting up with friends or hitting the golf course. Give back to others. Seniors who volunteer have a greater feeling of mental well-being than those who don't. Stimulate your mind. Retirement doesn't have to be all leisure. Some of the happiest retirees continue working a reduced schedule or pursue higher education. Retire to something, not just to get away from the daily grind. And find purpose. Number 2, divorce rates among retirees are skyrocketing. A study from the Pew Research Center found that the divorce rates are climbing for Americans who are age 50 or older. Among U.S. adults age 50 and older, the divorce rate has roughly doubled since the 1990s. One of the reasons for the increase in divorce among retirees may be that we're living longer. When you reach retirement age, you may have decades of life ahead of you. Many people decide that they don't want to spend that time with someone they don't get along with anymore. That, combined with a reduced stigma surrounding divorce, both from a religious and societal perspective, means people are less likely to stay in a marriage they no longer find fulfilling. However, it's important to consider the financial aspects of divorce at or near retirement. Older divorcees tend to be less financially secure than married or widowed adults, especially women. In some cases, the later a woman divorces, the more likely she is to need to continue working full-time later in life. Suddenly, the nest egg that you thought was sufficient to support a comfortable retirement doesn't stretch far enough because it needs to support 2 separate households. When creating your retirement plan, be honest about your future prospects. If you fear that a breakup could possibly be in your future, look hard at what that might do to your finances. Number 3, some retirees drink too much. Some people leaving the working world feel like they've lost their status, identity, social support, or their purpose. In some cases, these feelings of loss lead to an increase in alcohol consumption and even alcohol abuse. Some studies have even shown that drinking alcohol is increasing among the elderly. In general, the CDC recommends limiting drinking to no more than 1 drink per day for women and 2 drinks per day for men. But even that amount can be too much for some. As people age, they often become more sensitive to the effects of alcohol, and heavy drinking can make some health problems, such as osteoporosis and high blood sugar, even worse. Drinking and taking certain medications, even over-the-counter medications or herbal remedies, can be dangerous or even deadly. Number 4, you might spend more than you have budgeted. Traditional retirement planning recommends aiming for 80% of your pre-retirement income each year to maintain your quality of living in retirement. The thinking is that once you retire, certain expenses, including housing costs, commuting, dining out, payroll taxes, and retirement savings, will decrease. However, households end up spending more than what they've budgeted for, especially early in retirement. That overspending is not typically on necessities, such as food and healthcare, but on discretionary spending, such as travel and maintaining a more expensive home than they need. It's understandable that after a lifetime of working, new retirees may want to treat themselves a bit. However, overspending in the early years of retirement can significantly increase your chances of not having enough to last a lifetime. Even the best laid retirement plans can come unraveled if you aren't proactive about setting a reasonable budget for retirement spending and sticking to it. And the more detailed, the better. And number 5, most people report being happier than ever before. With all of the data on depression, drinking, divorce, and overspending in retirement, it's easy to believe that retirees are some of the most miserable people on the planet. That's far from the truth. AgeWave and Bank of America Merrill Lynch recently partnered on research that found that a majority of retirees, 93%, feel their life is as good or better than it was before they retired. What's not surprising about that finding is that money is not the primary factor in a happy retirement. Regardless of net worth, most retirees enjoy the increased flexibility and freedom that retirement brings. No matter how little or how much money they have, 86% of retirees report enjoying inexpensive leisure activities, such as reading a good book, hiking a nearby trail, and spending time with their grandchildren. In an article for Inc., author Jeff Hayden summarized some of the behaviors and characteristics that lead to the happiest retirement, according to financial advisor Wes Moss's book, You Can Retire Sooner Than You Think. Among those, happy retirees own homes averaging $300,000. That's less than the current average sales price for new homes in the US, so owning luxury real estate is not necessary. Happy retirees own their homes or are about to pay off their mortgage. Owning your home outright provides a sense of security and frees up money for other purposes. And happy retirees have 3.5 core pursuits. That's activities and interests they love to pursue, which might include volunteering, traveling, sports, or other hobbies. Financial planning for retirement is essential, but just as important is planning for the aspects of retirement that money can't buy: social connections, a sense of purpose, and passions beyond your career. As you near retirement age, start focusing on how you'll use your newfound flexibility and freedom. You may encounter a few unexpected twists along the way, but the more you plan for the soft side of retirement, the better prepared you'll be to confront those inevitable bumps in the road. You just listened to the post titled 5 Things No One Tells You About Retirement That You Need to Know by Janet Berry Johnson with newretirement.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary. If you've been using Mint to manage your finances, I've got some bad news. Mint is shutting down. But now for the good news. There's a better alternative. Our sponsor, Monarch Money. Mint users are turning to Monarch Money and loving it. Maybe you're saving for a down payment or a wedding, a dream vacation, your kids' college. I've found that Monarch makes it so easy to help you reach your financial goals, whatever they are. I definitely wouldn't be able to allocate my finances or plan as clearly without help from Monarch. In fact, Monarch is the top-rated all-in-one personal finance app. It gives you a comprehensive view of all of your accounts, investments, transactions, and more. Create custom budgets, set goals, and collaborate with your partner. And now get an extended 30-day free trial when you go to monarchmoney.com/OFD. After trying out Monarch for myself, I understand why it's the top-rated personal finance app. And right now, get an extended 30-day free trial when you go to monarchmoney.com/OFD. That's monarchmoney.com/OFD for your extended 30-day free trial.
Dreaming of a better sleep? Tossing and turning is not your destiny. And Ollie is here to help. Ollie invites you to sink into sweet, sweet slumber to improve your mental and physical health and overall wellness. More than just melatonin, Ollie's ingredients help you unwind your mind for a delightfully dreamy drift off. Sleep is on the way at Ollie.com. That's OLLY.com.
The stats around depression in retirement don't surprise me. Our individualistic culture really glorifies work, and it's where many of us find a sense of self and even self-worth. Most of the time when we meet someone new, they ask us what we do. Work is one of the main ways we find community and relate to other people. So taking this away can cause an identity crisis and be really disorienting. As much as we think we would be happier not working, I think many of us overlook the role that work plays in our lives. I was first confronted with how much my job played a role in my identity when I walked the Camino for 2 months. For those not familiar, this is a 500-mile trek across northern Spain, and I took a sabbatical from work in 2017 to do it. It was an unpaid sabbatical, and I was completely inaccessible to my employer, so it really gave me a chance to unplug. What was interesting to me is that no one on the trail asked me about my job. Most people I met wanted to talk about the deeper questions of life. On that trip, I got to see a side of myself that was independent of my career ambitions, and it was eye-opening. It definitely expanded my perception of myself and helped me get in tune with ambitions beyond work. Walking 500 miles across the country was pretty ambitious after all, and it had nothing to do with my career at the time. I highly recommend giving yourself experiences that can remind you that there's more to life than work. And that'll do it for today. Have a great day and start to your weekend. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.